So I'm so excited today to be sharing a story that is very close to my heart, right? I'm going to be talking about how the black sheep got her first car, and yeah, it's just going to be a whole lot of exciting stories inside this one story of how I got my Clio 4 TCE. It was a turbocharged expression, and it was it had a special name, but anyway, it was like an aqua blue. It was beautiful. Let's do it. So right, I remember back in second year of varsity. By the way, guys, I got the shock of my life when I got to varsity. I got there and almost everyone in my class had cars. I'm like, oh, I didn't get the memo for this. You guys have cars? Like, the cars that my teachers used to drive at high school, right, were driven by first year students at varsity. So I was just like, what is happening? Anyway, one of my friends then drove a Clio 3. I loved that car. I loved the technology. I loved the interior. It was just really like a perfect car for a young lady. It was beautiful, and it was also blue in color, but it was a different, like, it looked like this. It actually looked like mine. But you remember the Clio 3s had a nice color that looked like this. So she drove one of those, and I just loved it. And I remember, because with the situation I was in, I wouldn't just go home and ask for a car. No. No. I mean, I grew up quite okay, but not to the level where you just get home and you're like, oh, by the way, Dad, I need a car. So I told God one day, I'm like, yo, God, I love this car. And just in passing, have you guys noticed that these things, like these type of things happen? You'll be telling God things like just in passing, to be like, yo, I like this, I see myself doing this in the future. And like 3 years later, you're actually standing there and you're like, wow, I actually discussed this with God. This is exactly what happened in my life. So now fast forward to the first year of working, right? My dad would not let me buy a car with my first salary. You know, some of my colleagues bought cars with their contracts, like they got their work contract, signed it, and took it to the car dealership and got cars. And me, on the other hand, I had to like wait it out, drive my father's car. He borrowed me a car, and I drove it for 5 months. Yeah, I drove my dad's car until May of 2016, and then it was time. You know, I was ready. I knew the budget that I wanted to go towards this car. So then, also, you don't just wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a car today. No, girl. You have to source quotes. You know, you have to look at different brands. You have to look at different offers on the same brand. So I was lucky to have my older sister do all of that for me, because if it were up to me, I was just gonna get up and go to a Renault dealership and come back with a Renault. You know, I remember there was a Renault in Woodbank that I went and I checked out the cars there, but apparently the interest rates they were offering was higher. So my sister was like, nah, girl, I got you. So she asked for options. I gave her options. I think the other options were just literally just for me to just get the whole process done, because my heart was set on a Clio 4. And I wanted a yellow one at that point. I remember I told my mom, I showed her a yellow Clio around town. She's like, yo, now it's gonna damage. Literally saying, I'm not gonna get into a yellow car. Girl, you are too flashy. Your life is already full of all these colorful things. Can you just have a respectable car? So, but I think I liked the blue as well. No, actually, I know I liked the blue. So my sister then sent, at that time, I think I had said a Clio and a Polo, and was there a Swift? Oh, I remember there was a Peugeot, the E30, or is the E320? Yes. You will see with how I'm struggling with these names, because I'm not the best when it comes to cars, and people will be like, a Jeep 3.2.5.7.8. Nah, I just say the Jeep with the 4 wheels. It's easier that way, really, for everyone. Anyway, so eventually the day came that we are now going to pick up the car. I'm there with my father. I went with my father, my brother-in-law, and my sister. We went to Madire, and what was this place? Woodmead. Yes, we went to Woodmead to go pick up my car. Not Madire, Woodmead. To pick it up, and I was so emotional that day. I was so emotional because, firstly, like I told you guys, that students in my class used to have cars, flashy cars. So I used to struggle a lot to get from place to place, you know, because you'd be placed at a hospital that you had to actually take 2 taxis to get there for practicals. So I was really emotional that day to be like, girl is going to be able to get herself anywhere, anytime from that day. So yeah, we picked up the car, and I remember I had a CD that I had made with all the songs that I wanted to play in my car. I remember the very first song on that CD was a song by, who's this guy? Is it Marvin? Is it Marvin Sapp? I think it's Marvin Sapp. If not, no, it is Marvin Sapp. That it feels so good to make it this far. Okay, anyway, that song. So I was so ready to play the song in my car. And so my brother-in-law was going to drive the car home for me. How, guys, I get into the car and I look for the CD slots. Hey! Guys, cars these days, or should I say Renault cars, don't have CD slots. And I was there, I looked. I thought, okay, maybe it's under the seats, or maybe it's in the little cabby hole. I looked for the CD slots and there was no CD slot. So yeah, my brother was just like, no, it looks like you can only play Apple Music or a USB, because it has those nice little screens. So yeah, obviously that CD was scrapped. I had to convert it onto a USB and only then play all the songs that I had been envisioning myself for like years jamming to in my car. I remember it was a Thursday when we fetched my car. Yes, it was a Thursday. So on the Friday, I took my mom on a joyride. I don't remember where we were going, but we were going, I was taking her somewhere that she needed to be. And living in Mpumalanga, or MP, that stands for many pothole. Guys, I hit a pothole. For the first time, I was driving this car and I hit a pothole. I remember I cried so much. I cried because we got out of the car and we assessed what had happened, but there was no damage. We were luckily able to drive home. But by the time we got home, there was this sound coming out of one of it was the front left wheel. So that meant I could not go and show off my car that weekend. And obviously I had told my colleagues that on Monday I'm coming to show you this car. And on Monday I came back with my dad's car because my dad was teaching me how to budget. So from the very first day I knew that buying a car is literally it's like having a baby, because you're gonna need to maintain that thing every day. And if you live in Mpumalanga, you always have to have an extra tire budget. I'm telling you guys, if you're planning on moving here, you must know there must always be cash in your account for an extra tire, because you're going to hit a pothole. I think I hit like 3 or 4 potholes after that one, because I was always flying was my thing. Safely, I always say I'm a fast, safe driver, but things happen, you know, potholes pop up everywhere. So yeah, maintenance. When you want to buy your first car, literally think of everything. Ask the correct questions. Ask about inflation. Ask about interest rates. Shop around. Don't be in a hurry. Shop around, guys. Somebody just recently told me that salespeople are not your friends. They're not trying to get you the best deal. They're actually trying to get the most money out of you. So make sure that you do your homework, ask questions. Don't rush it. If you feel like a salesperson is rushing you to get a car, especially like second-hand cars, just don't feel rushed. You know, there are so many car dealerships. Go online, go test drive cars. You shouldn't be in a hurry. If you want to have a car by December, start shopping now so that you get like the best deal. Especially if you're a female, you wanna, it doesn't have to be a male that accompanies you. I mean, I know a lot of females that know a lot of things about cars, but find someone. If you're a first time buyer and you're female, they might take advantage of you. So find someone who knows exactly what they are talking about. And also on the day of collection, read your contract. Read your contract, make sure you understand each and every word. If they're trying to rush you, just tell them that I'm not going to sign until I understand each and everything that stands on my contracts. So yeah,